Hello everyone, I'm Vera Worthington and I'd like to thank you for joining me today. I am going to be painting an Aurora Borealis on this black piece of paper. This is Grafix Durabright Black. This is a synthetic substrate. It's like a black plastic, and Grafix has come out with a great line of different papers that we can use for alcohol inks, which I'm really excited about. I've used this paper before and I actually really love it. They have Durabright White, which is very bright white paper, and the inks flow beautifully on it. Very slick surface, just like the black. The black is also very slick. They have Duralar, which is translucent, and they also have a clear plastic Duralar that's obviously clear, that you can put white paper behind and put the clear on top, which works really great. So today I'm going to show you the black. It comes in a 9 by 12 inch pad, but I took one of the sheets and just cut it down to a 5 by 7 piece just to show you a demo of how you can make an Aurora Borealis painting using the black. So here I have on my iPad, I've downloaded several photos of Aurora Borealises or Northern Lights. This is on my bucket list. I'm dying to go see them. I don't know about you, but I'm dying to go see it. You know, maybe someday, but anyway, I'm still quarantining. It's that time. But anyway, I like looking at these more for the tree silhouettes than the actual aurora, just to see how, you know, trees grow, what they look like silhouetted against the sky. You know, there's like little pieces of yellow that I can see through the trees. So I'm going to show you how to paint a row of trees down here and then how to do the aurora up top. So let's get started. I'm just going to set the iPad over to the side. I'm going to prop it up so that I can just use those trees as references. Now we all know that when you start painting with alcohol inks, especially something sort of abstract, it never really looks like your reference. It turns into something else, which is why I say I use these photos as references. It's almost impossible to copy them. Believe me, I've done a lot of auroras. I know this. So I'm just taking my Pabio drawing gum. This is just a regular masking fluid. I know Winsor & Newton has one. I know there's lots of other masking fluids out there, but this is the brand that I happen to have. You can use whatever brand you have. It'll work just as well. This is just what I have. You don't have to run out and buy this one if you already have another one. So I just put it in a little cup, and I have this silicone stylus that I like to use, and I will just start by making a few straight lines to indicate where those trees are going to start growing. So this got a little fat at the top, so I'm using the tip of this pointed silicone sculpture tool just to thin it out a little bit. And with the masking fluid, I am loosely putting in some little tree shapes. Now you have to work quickly with the masking fluid. You can see I put it here, and I'm sure that's going to dry fast. And if I don't travel to the bottom of this quickly, I could start lifting it up. Yeah, you see I'm getting a little string here. So you've got to work really, really fast with masking fluid. Just want to get a little branchier over here. I've painted so many little tree silhouettes that I almost don't even need to look at my references anymore. I think you'll find that after a while when you start doing this. You won't really have to look so much at your trees anymore in the future. You'll just do it. Okay, now I'm going to grow a little tree up this side too. Maybe these branches come straight down instead of going squiggly across. Oops, we got a blob, no big deal. Blobs are all right. Just means that there's more forest in that one area if it gets blobby, that's all. But look, it's okay. It's all good. We're good here. Now I'm going to bring this line of masking fluid straight down, and I'll show you what we're going to do at this part down here. I have a trick for that. But I'm just going to bring it down to a straight line, because from here down is going to be mostly black. Maybe this tree, maybe he'll live a little bit lower down. Maybe the horizon is going down a little bit. But I'm not going to paint this entire area with masking fluid. I have a trick to show you. I have something else to use. Oh, whatever could it be, Vera? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to cut a piece of contact paper for the bottom just to cover that. It'll peel right up. It works great. In fact, contact paper works really, really well if you're doing simple shapes. You can just cut out a shape from contact paper, or if you get a neutral color or solid color, I happen to get a beige color, you can do your sketch right on it. Yeah, let's dip down a little here. And then after you do your sketch on it, you could just cut out the shape, mask off your shape, paint in the background, and then peel it up and paint back into that shape. So maybe there's, I don't know, you want to mask out the shape of a bird, or you want to mask out the shape of, I don't know, a bat. I like bats. Don't judge. They're actually really cute, the little flying foxes that come out of Australia. Oh, those are stinking adorable. I'm just going to grow a little bit of a tree in here. I think we're going to keep it a pine forest today. Sometimes I paint other little trees in, but today I think we're going to stick with evergreens. And maybe we're going down a hill here, and then this tree starts growing out of where I put that little bit earlier. Okay, now I got a little bit too much there. I don't like that. I'm going to grab a paper towel, and I'm just going to wipe it off the tip. Look how nice and clean that comes. You see that? Oh, there's a little bit on the other side. Comes right off, okay? I'm going to wipe this off. I can use the paper towel. We don't want that big blob there. So I'm lifting it and just gently rubbing. And I just wiped it right off my page. It's gone. You know, now we got a couple little marks in the sky. But please do not worry about that, because, sorry, I got something in my eye. Just rubbing my eye. Okay, I'm back. Don't worry about these marks, because we're going to cover it up with ink. Let's talk about that ink I'm going to use. That ink that I'm going to use is some really amazing special stuff from FUNKADELIC in Australia. This stuff is amazing. I'm going to be using a combination of the liquid dichro inks and the new chiffon inks. Wow, do they work fabulously on black. You've got to see the effect that I get. And I only wish that you were sitting here next to me so you can see how sparkly and gorgeous these inks are, because I know this video is definitely not going to do them justice. So we're going to be using a combination of liquid dichros and chiffons from FUNKADELIC. I believe the URL is ceramictilepaper.com. She ships all over the world, so don't worry about, oh, I'm in the UK or I'm in the United States. She ships everywhere, and it's actually cheaper to order more product. Sorry, my eye is not cooperating. Actually cheaper to order more product and have it shipped than to order just a little bit, love it, and then order more, and then love it and order more. Just order a whole bunch of it in one shot. Because I think that the shipping rates are the same whether you order a few things or a lot. I'm just going to wipe off this tip and start over again here. Okay, sorry, I wasn't prepared for an eye malfunction. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, I'm better now. Thank you for asking. But we got through it, right? Okay. And my iPad's gone dark, but it doesn't matter because, like I mentioned, I've painted so many of these that I'm used to the shapes of the trees. When I do this on tile, I go into a little bit more detail when I paint in the black. Okay, now I put a line right here and I'm just gently rubbing it away, because if I put down my masking fluid in that spot, my stylus is going to kind of try to lift it back off. I'm going to go up here and just grow another taller guy over here. So doing this part with the masking fluid and painting your little tree silhouettes is really the most labor-intensive part of this entire painting. This is the part that you're going to be spending the most time working on, but do it. Do the work. Take the time to paint in all these little yummy branches and leaves and whatever else you like for your tree silhouettes. And trust me, the more detail you put in, the better the end result is going to be, I promise. Peeling up the masking fluid after the ink has dried is the most satisfying thing ever. You'll see, you'll just be like, oh, this is so great. Like, did you ever put glue on your fingers when you were a kid? And you just loved peeling that glue off your fingers, whether it was Elmer's glue or rubber cement. You just loved spreading it on your hands and then peeling it off, right? Come on, I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about eating paste, I'm talking about peeling peeling dried glue off of your fingers. It's oh so much fun. And I promise, peeling the masking fluid off of this is going to be fun too. Okay, so I'm just bringing this masking fluid down. I just want like a straight line here. I'm trying to lay it next to what I did, but overlap it ever so slightly because I don't want to lift it back up. This is going to take a few minutes to dry. And once it does, I will be back. I'll see you in a few. Don't forget to wipe off your tip. Yep, comes right off. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I'm back, and the masking fluid has dried. I'm peeking at the video so you can see, yeah, there. my shop light is picking up the reflection of that masking fluid. So that's just to prove that it's there, because when I lay it down, you kind of don't see those trees. But for now, don't worry. There's a line here that I'm going to be following right here with the contact paper. So I have a scrap of contact paper. This is just regular contact brand, I think, contact paper. I found it at Home Depot. And this color I thought was especially great because, like I mentioned earlier, I can sketch out a little design, I can cut it out, put it down, do my background painting, peel it up, and then I'll just go back in and fill in. And I don't know how I do that, but I do. That's what I do. Anyway, we're just going to cut a little piece of this out. Probably about there, I hope. Otherwise, we'll just add another piece. Let's see, does that all overlap? It sure does. I should have waited to put my gloves on because this is going to be a challenge now to peel this off. Let's see if I can do it. Wish me luck. Oh no, this is not going to work with these gloves. What was I thinking? Oh wait, there's a corner here. Yeah, there we go. Haha. Okay, we got it. So I'm just going to stick that down and overlap it on that part where the masking fluid is. So I just saved myself a lot of masking fluid and a lot of time painting that in the bottom. I just put a little piece of contact paper, and I'm just going to snip off the excess without cutting my Dura-Bright black. Yeah, I should have waited to put the gloves on. Good move, Veer. Yes, I just snorted. And this last bit, I don't have patience. I'm just going to fold it. And maybe you can see it a little better. No, you still can't see it. All right, but you know it's there. Okay, let's get rid of this. Now I have a few things I want to show you. I have my alcohol blending solution, rather. This is the one from Ranger. I have Goodness Gracious. It's a purple liquid dichro that Miss Irby Funkanol mixed especially for me. She knows how much I love purple, and she might have even added it to the line by now, I'm not sure, but I'll just give that a quick shake. So that's a liquid dichro. And then I have here Danielle and Julie. Give those a quick shake too. I shook them up while I was waiting for the masking fluid to dry. So Julie is a beautiful turquoisey color, and Danielle is a really deep blue. Both have gorgeous sparkle. I have a little scrap of white paper here. I will show you what those look like in a minute. And now, introducing the chiffon inks. Now these guys, the more you shake them, the more pigment that settled on the bottom will be dispersed into the alcohol ink, and that goes for the liquid dichros as well. But notice how much is still on the bottom here. You can see it here and here. I'm purposely not shaking it to dissolve all of that. I'm leaving it as it is because I don't want it to be too pigmented. I want more of the ink and less of the sparkly pigment. So that was what happened with my other ones as well. I didn't shake them quite as much, and that's a cool feature of these inks, is that the more you shake them, the more pigment you're going to get into your ink. The less you shake them, the less pigment. So you can really control these inks, and you'll see once you start playing around with them, try shaking it just a little bit, drip it on a piece of paper, see what it looks like, shake it up a little more, drip it again, and then shake it a heck of a lot until you don't see that settlement on the bottom, and then you'll see how pigmented it is. They're really, really fun to play with. Okay, so first, like, what was I doing? Okay, so first, oh, I just want to get my my alcohol ready here. I have a little cup that I have some of the liquid dichrose in from a previous play session. I'm going to just add a little bit more of that isopropyl to that cup. And yeah, I resorted to getting isopropyl on Amazon because I couldn't get any in my local drugstore. So this big thing, how many ounces is this? I think it's 32 ounces. This big thing, package of 4, cost me $40, which, you know, $10 a bottle. Yeah, it's kind of high, but hey, there was a pandemic. I did what I had to do, right? Because I wanted to keep painting. I didn't want to wait until there was alcohol again because I could have missed all of 2020. So I have my my alcohol over here to like rinse off my brushes in, and I have the blending solution. The very first thing I'm going to do is absolutely saturate this with the blending solution. Don't skip this step. It's going to be soaking, 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 soaking wet. You can use plain alcohol, but I find that the blending solution stays wetter longer. Because I know you're thinking, oh, why is she using blending solution? I'll just use alcohol. Use blending solution, it'll stay wet longer. And I'm working within my ventilation box. And if you've never seen my ventilation box, I have a video on my Worthington Fine Art YouTube channel. Tricky part is getting these darn caps off. Okay. This one's neat because it has a little brush on the end. I think her new packaging for the liquid dichrose also has this little brush on the end, which is really, really cool. And we'll open goodness gracious. There we go. Oh. There. Wow, that was a tricky one. Okay. Let me put my caps aside. Okay. So remember, really, really wet the darn thing. Get it soaking, soaking wet. I got little bits of dried ink from the cap in there. I mean, we want this thing drowning. Do you see my trees? No? Neither do I, which is A-okay. Kind of don't even worry about them right now. Okay, so I'm going to put some of the blue down. Look at that sparkle. Oh my God, I love this stuff. Look at that. Wow. Look at the sparkle of this ink. Is that just stunning or what? Now I'm just touching it right up to that. And now I'm going to take the purple and do a little blue, blue, blue. I don't want to do too much purple, just a little. Oh, let's bring her down. Yeah. And the rest of this I'm just going to fill in with the blue. I want to highlight some of this with the chiffon. Now be sure to bring it down into the trees, guys. When we peel off that masking fluid, we want to see it in the trees, right? So remember, this page is soaking, soaking wet. Let's get some of the blue down in here. I want to get a little of this blue down here too. Whoa. Oh, this stuff is so cool. Look at that. And I'll just wipe it a little bit. Maybe I'll swirl a little around that way. We'll see it behind the trees. I have eyedroppers somewhere for this too. I don't know where they are right now. I'm going to put a little bit more of this blue and maybe a little purple swoop up here. No right or wrong way to make an aurora, everybody. Just do whatever feels fun. Oh, that feels fun. Oh, does that feel fun? Just touch a little bit in there. Let the colors swirl and flow. I want more purple. Yeah, I ended up using more of the liquid dichros than the chiffons. I like the chiffons, but man, am I loving these liquid dichros. Oh, look what's happening with the purple. Oh, does that look cool? Going to let a little of that extra ink drip off. All right, I think that looks pretty darn cool. What do you think? Yummy. I know it seems like a lot of ink, but I like a lot of ink. Okay, guys, I'm going to give this time to dry. It will take a few minutes, and I won't bore you with that piece, so I'll be back soon. Okay, I'm back. So I gave that a few minutes to dry. I even took my heat gun and just dried a few areas that were still a little tacky to the touch. And now we're ready for the big reveal. This is the most fun part, guys. You ready for this? Because you have to see. See, again, I should have taken my gloves off. All right, here we go. I got it. Okay, now contact paper comes off first. But remember, I overlapped it a little bit here at the bottom. So when I start pulling it up, some of that masking fluid might come up with it. Let's see. Yeah, see, some of it is coming. Not a lot, but a little bit. Let's dump that. Okay, so I have my handy dandy little rubber cement pickup, and I'm just going to start swiping up. And you can see these little gummy stringy things are coming up. That's why I left my gloves on, because I didn't want my fingers stained with ink. I'm doing this so gently, and now I can see where the top of that tree is. Yeah, there he is. Look at that. You see in between how some of the ink is left behind. How cool is that? the big reveal. This is so much fun doing this. It's just so satisfying. Doing this really, really, really gently. I'm going to take these little crumbly ink stained boogers off. They are kind of like boogers. And just throw it in the trash next to me. These little boogers. Booger. I'm looking at my piece at an angle. I'm not looking at it straight on. If I were looking at it straight on, you wouldn't be able to see it because my head would be covering it, right? My messy hair that I put up so it's not in my face. And because I'm looking at it at an angle, I can see where those trees are. Now, all this little bit here, we're going to clean that up with some clean alcohol and a Q-tip, so don't worry about that. Oh, and it's like a big stretch of stuff. I love that. Oh, it's so much fun. I hope you're having fun. I'm having fun. Where's the top of this guy? I think it's up here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. These big boogers off of here. My masking fluid boogers. By the way, that's the technical art term for your little balls of masking fluid. Boogers. Masking fluid boogers. That's the technical term, guys. I'm sure the manufacturers of that goo would love to know that. Okay, picking up all my little boogers. And yeah, I got like crumbs of it all under here, which is okay. Let's see. I'm looking to see if there's any spots I may have missed in pulling up my boogers. A little bit over here. Yeah, is it just a drop there? The top of the tree. Okay, let's clean up these little bits down here. Trying to rub it off with the rubber cement pickup, but I'm not getting all of that. Let's get a Q-tip. And I'm going to get a little bit of clean alcohol. There's an old cup I use for God knows what. And after I've cleaned up these little spots on the bottom here, I'm going to go ahead and give it a couple of coats of Kmart varnish as per usual. And then I'm going to use a gloss spray varnish to finish it. Something with a UV protectant, of course. And then I'll pop it in a frame without glass because we don't want the glass right up against our art. So I'll get a little 5x7 frame and pop this in there without the glass, and it'll be gorgeous. I'm gonna get one more Q-tip. I'm gonna use this one now because this one's a little bit fatter. There's a lot of little sparklies. I want to get those up as much as I can. And I want this bottom black part to stay black. I'm just wondering if I missed a little over here because the top of that tree doesn't look so nice, does it? Yeah, I think there is a little bit more there. Ah, see that? It was hiding. It was hiding. Oh yeah, there's definitely more. There we go. All right, not the greatest shaped tree, but you get the idea. Okay, so presenting our beautiful shimmery Aurora Borealis and trees. One thing I forgot. I have this Posca pen, you know, these little white paint pens, acrylic paint pens. Let's add a few stars. Almost forgot the stars. That's like the icing on the cake. What was I thinking? Now I'm just putting a few in the darker areas. Maybe there's a cluster. Some spaced further apart. How could I forget the stars? Now note I'm just putting them in the dark areas for now, just so the glow really pops. Okay, I think now we're done. What do you think? Yeah? Could I sign it? Okay, now we're done. I'm going to say goodbye again. Thank you for joining me.